Show me a single statement I've made about science that is erroneous.
Challenge accepted.
Why do we have Fruit Loops in this country that have 18 or 19 ingredients, and you go to Canada and it's got 2 or 3?
The Fruit Loop sold in Canada has 26 ingredients. For crying out loud, Kennedy, you can just look this stuff up.
I'm going to advise the water districts about their legal liability, their legal obligation to their service zones and to their constituents, and I'm going to give them good information about the science, and I think that fluoride will disappear.
Fluoride is a natural ingredient in drinking water, and it always has been. In some places, natural levels are so high they remove it to get it down to the 2 parts per million limit.
The seed oils, the reason they're in the foods is because they're heavily subsidized. They're very, very cheap, but they are associated with all kinds of very, very serious illnesses, including body-wide inflammation.
Right.
Which affects all of our health. It's one of the worst things you can eat.
The reason why we use seed oils now is because health ignoramuses like RFK Jr. decided that beef tallow was too unhealthy. Then vegetable oil was too unhealthy, so we had to go to canola oil and other seed oils. Not any big corporate conspiracy. Now, incredibly, RFK Jr. is wanting to take us all back to beef tallow. The fact is, each type of oil has its own set of benefits and drawbacks. There is no single healthiest oil. Beef tallow has a good nutrient profile and a high smoke point, but it's high in saturated fats. Vegetable oils, on the other hand, are lower in saturated fats, but they have a lower smoke point and can produce carcinogens when heated. Seed oil is basically in between. It has a relatively high smoke point and a more balanced fatty acid profile, but it's higher in omega-6 fatty acids. There is no best oil. It all depends on your individual needs and priorities. But that's the authoritarian mindset. There's one perfect solution, one good choice, one way for all of us. Shove us in a box and make us all the same. It's never about your individual needs with these people, just the one that's good for the collective.
The vaccination program was linked to the epidemic of autism.
Autism is not caused by vaccines or anything dietary. The structure of the autistic brain is put in place in the first few weeks of pregnancy. The cause is likely polygenetic.
Autism went from 1 in 10,000 for 2,500, 1 in 2,500 to 1 in 10,000, depending on the studies.
Once you account for greater screening and diagnostic procedures, as well as correction for past misdiagnoses, the prevalence of autism in humanity is constant for as long as we have good data for it, going back over a century. Autism has heritability estimates between 40 to 80%, meaning the genetic factors are overwhelmingly the biggest predictor of autism. Several genetic mutations, as well as copy number variations, have been detected as contributors. Other smaller risk factors include advanced paternal age, prenatal stress, and other factors that mean that autistics are simply born that way. Just because the symptoms don't show up until you're 2 to 4 years old, about the time they're getting vaccines and maturing their diet, doesn't say anything about causation.
What is your actual position? Explain it to us as basically as you can on nuclear power, and do you regret or have you rethought your position on Indian Point?
No, I mean, Indian Point is leaking tritium into the Hudson every day. So I don't see how you can say it's safe.
First of all, it's not leaking tritium. Tritium is routinely put in the bay as a controlled release. And not only are there no detrimental health effects ever observed from humans drinking it, the fact is, more tritium is being created in the Hudson Bay every day by the rays of the sun than is being released by Indian Point.
The American nuclear industry, I mean, you go look at what Fukushima, they're poisoning the Pacific every day. with huge amounts of really deadly radiation?
No, they aren't. Multiple different analyses over the years have shown no nuclear contamination of the Pacific from Fukushima.
Doritos, Cheez-Its, Captain Crunch, gummy bears. Everyone knows that these are junk foods, so maybe you wouldn't be too surprised to see that the ingredients include a lot of poisons, including a harmful yellow dye called tartrazine, or yellow dye number 5. That's why tartrazine is heavily restricted in other countries.
No, it isn't. It's used all the time. You're just so freaking ignorant that you don't know they just call it something else. E102, commonly found in various processed foods in Europe, including confectionery, soft drinks, ice cream, cake mixes, and instant puddings. It's also known as Color Index International number 19140. It's commonly used in foods all over the world. And you could have looked that up in 30 seconds. Oh, and by the way, there isn't the first bit of truth to his claim that tartrazine was made from coal sludge. No coal sludge was ever used as a raw material in the making of any form of yellow number 5.
I can make a video just like this to talk about Red 40, BHA, BHD, potassium bromate, chemical after chemical, and on and on and on.
And you'd be just as wrong. So thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe, leave a comment, and go to donate.bogosity.tv to keep me doing what I do. And check out all the great content here, like this video selected just for you.